The final season of The Leftovers is just around the corner. Check out what star Justin Theroux and Damon Lindelof had to say about Season 3. Season 2 left us with a surprisingly happy ending. Will there be any peace?
Well, I mean, it was a hard-fought little sliver of happiness. In most shows, people come home, open the front door, and their family's all sitting there, and that's just how they open the show. That's
Right,
how we
yes.
ended our season.
I think that every season of The Leftovers is watching these characters kind of get beat up nonstop, and then they have to kind of claw themselves out of the mess, and then they're there for one another. We tried to do the same thing in the third year that we did in the previous two, which is arrive at a point where the characters are better off than when we met them.
So how would you describe the evolution of the show from Season 1 to Season 2 and now Season 3?
The first season, the show was very bleak. It was very depressing. The characters were stuck. And I think that towards the end of the first year, the characters started to say, we don't want to be this anymore. And they started taking action to feel better. And then the show, I think, started taking on a much more exciting energy. The third season has, I think, even more energy, where it's sort of like, well, we didn't find what we were looking for in Texas, so maybe it's in Australia.
I think in the first season, the relationship, at least between Kevin and Nora, they sort of communicate through this, language of damage and wounds, and then again in Season 2, that evolves into sort of a love, or the semblance of a love. And I think in Season 3, we sort of bite down a little harder on that, sort of try and establish more normalcy in the relationships.
What are you most proud of accomplishing with the show?
For the most part, we executed our plan, and I just feel like we made an ending, and I feel like it feels like an ending, and I think that for the audience who's invested in the show, they will be able to leave at the end of this third season feeling like that we told our story, and that there's not like the end question mark. It really feels like very defined.
Previous seasons of The Leftovers are available to stream through HBO Now on your Roku devices. Watch Season 3 beginning April 16th. Happy streaming!